spot, you stop, you pick your reins up, you do a 180-degree turn, and come out the other way. Now that looks a lot like what we were doing working that cow, and that's basically what it was. It's the maneuver that you'll use if you're having to work cattle. Ooh. And come around 180 degrees. Now he was wanting to lift his head up there a little bit, so you know, schooling him, I'll kind of turn him around all the way around and come out of it a couple of times. What you see commonly in that is there's a penalty if your horse trots out of a rollback. They're supposed to actually lope out of that rollback and get right out again. If you're working a cow, you better get after the cow. So you're not supposed to trot out of it. Some people will stop one and they go to starting to back up like this. They're pulling too hard to turn them around. Now we'll do that with a cutting horse to make him load up on his hocks a little bit to turn around, but you got to watch practicing a lot of that before you go to the reining, because more than 4 steps backward, you're off pattern and you get a 0 score. So you've got to have a horse that'll stop, and part of what you have to do when you're doing this is you have to go along and stop your horse, let him kind of stand up, and then do your rollback, because if you try to turn a horse around before he's got his feet back up under him, you know, it will not look pretty, or sometimes they'll stumble or get their legs tangled up. So to do really nice rollbacks, a rider has to learn to get in the grounds, feel how when their horse is stopped and starts to come up, and then you go ahead and turn them around. And what you can do, since we only score it as one maneuver, somebody comes down there and has a real pretty stop, and you say, well, that looks like kind of a +1/2 stop. Well, they go to turn around and this horse jumps way over here and then comes back here. Well, he didn't come back out 180 degrees, he just made a loop. I'm thinking, boy, that I didn't like so much. The horse was light and responsive, so I've got to take that half I had in my mind away from him. Now he's a 0, or if it was real ugly, I could have him on a -1/2, even though his stop was pretty. What we'll do here, I'm going to try to get a horse to speed up in the turnaround, so I'm getting ready to do this pattern for you here in just a minute. I'll try to get a little forward motion going. I don't want to have to stick him or anything to try to encourage him to turn around. So you kind of get a little forward motion, get him coming out of it like that, and get him thinking about moving around a little faster. And see, I'm not having to pull on him, we're just kind of making him think he's going to turn around a little bit and go somewhere. And so I'm not having to poke him or whip him or do anything and make him turn around, and I can kind of hold him up, hold his form. There he's just a little sluggish, he's not doing it badly. Because horse, with him doing the cattle stuff, he will tend to back up, you know, and get a little tangled up. Okay, he's starting to do it. We're not going to look for play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's a little hung up in the ground right here, so now that would have been at least a -1/2 turnaround. We didn't have a lot of step and a lot of pizzazz to that one. So I'm going to step him forward. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Okay, so that's more like a 0. Oh, what's happened here? Too much. Okay, now see, that first turnaround, I think I got a little farther out, but here we are a little off center, so that's not laying my pattern out that nice. Now you can walk your horse into a lead depart. You don't have to just launch off. So as I can sit here after I hesitate, get things adjusted. I'll get my horse's face listening to me. I'll squeeze him off, set him up. Okay, now I should have held him a little more because that was not pretty transit. His head a little too much in that first circle, came back down to contact on his mouth. Wait until I get past. In case of a bad stop, a better rollback. That was better for this ground. And this horse has to be able to be pretty athletic to get back around here and stay in front of her. Okay, just do it once or twice more. Just do it just a little shorter. Okay, see how he's working? I mean, that's one reason I bought this horse, because he's a lot of fun. Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's give her a big hand.